Hello, beautiful souls. This is Nikita Bhargav, and I'm back with my second part for today. And like I promised, there are a few more anecdotes from my one of my favorite love stories, which is Laila-Majnu. So, one of the very sweet anecdotes is how mm, when Laila is forcefully married off, and when she goes to her husband's place, she is pining for Kais a lot, and eventually she falls very gravely ill, and she's not eating, she's not sleeping, and she kind of goes into a comatose, a catatonic kind of state. And so, as was the thing at that time, all kind of doctors are called, but none of them even know what is wrong with her. And so her husband calls people who are the mystics and who are the healers of the time and who are the spiritual healers, and he kind of announces reward for anyone who can heal his Lela and bring her back to her consciousness. And every day she's getting weaker, to the point that the doctors are worried now that she might die. It's become that grave. And so somehow Kais happens to be in the city, because he some traveler had gotten him along. There's a whole anecdote to that. So he happens to be there in the same city at that time, and he has wandered into seeing so many people, all the, the priests and all the seers and all the mystics and the healers, and everyone is praying, and somebody's doing something, and somebody's doing something, and somebody's making herbs and whatever. And so he wanders there, and there are two versions to this. One is that because he's a male, he's not allowed direct access into Layla's chamber, and the other says that he does wander in because there's so many people coming going, and there are a lot of people around her who are praying, and he does wander in. And but in both the versions, it is that, when he sees her in that condition, uh, he knows he cannot touch her, because she is the wife of another man. So what he does is, he doesn't have proper clothes. He's been walking around in tattered kind of rags and whatever, and so he just tears a bit off from his upper half. It's like a long shirt, and so he tears a part of that, and he uh, ties it on her foot, on her ankle. And as soon as he does that, by his sheer energy or his love, or just that she could feel the connection again, Layla regains her consciousness. That is so beautiful to even think that just the mere connection with a torn cloth, and no medicines were working, and the doctors couldn't do anything, but with Cass's love and mere presence, she regains her consciousness. So that is one of the very beautiful anecdotes that I used to always adore. There was another one where when they are little children, and like I have narrated in the story, the father of Layla gets very upset that she is bringing dishonor to the family, and her name is kind of being associated with a boy, and that too at such a young age, and he's not of the same social standing as them. So the father takes his family and moves a little away, and um, you know she is not allowed to go out after a certain time. And the whole thing is that they tried to keep them apart, but she would keep running, or Kais would keep jumping the balcony and entering a house and stuff, and that's why they move away. And even Kes and his family are asked to kind of stay away from this family, and it leads to a little bit of bad blood, and uh, as in Romeo Juliet, they kind of become almost the warring families because it's a matter of honor. But so now there's a long-term separation where Kes is, writing poetry, and I have narrated that bit where he goes around and asks people, "Have you seen my Laila?" And he narrates his poem to even strangers, and he's always lost in her thought. So by and by, when he has grown up and time has passed by, this is, the part where after years they lay eyes on each other again. So when they it's in a marketplace, and where they kind of happen to see each other, and they're magnetically drawn to each other, and they just can't look away. And despite everything, Laila can't stop thinking about him, and he can't get her out of his head. So when Kais, then again he figures out where she lives, and he manages to sneak in again to kind of meet her. And when they finally have the first conversation, is when he tells her that, I've lost my heart to you, but I don't even know your name. And she says, "I'm Laila." And for Kes, it's like the penny drops, and he's like, "My Laila, my childhood sweetheart." And so he embraces her, and he says, "Aren't you going to ask me my name?" And she says, "I don't need to. The only person in the world who could have embraced me like this is my Kes." And she knows it. She just knows that this connection that they both are feeling, and that they don't need any formal introduction, So when you meet your twins, that it's somewhat like this, you kind of know them. You might be strangers, but there are things that you just know. You just feel the connection. It is just there within you. And it's not just within you, it's within your twin as well. They just know you, because it's not that you belong together, it's that you're one. You are them, they are you. This is something that everyone out there needs to understand. You are them, they are you. There is no difference. You're just making your way back to become one again in the physical sense, but you already won. Okay, so now there was this very beautiful part of from the book which I had said I'm going to read out to all of you. This is the book for those of you who love to read. Okay, there's some portions which I just feel they have captured the twin flame pain and the feelings so beautifully. So they're just small little bit that I wish to read out to you. One is what Kes is saying to Laila. "You are the cause of my pain, yet the love I feel for you is my only consolation, my only cure. How strange! A cure that brings even greater pain. If only you could send me a sign." How much we beg for synchronicities and signs from the universe. And so this has been going on since ever and ever. "If only the wind could touch your lips and bring your kisses to me. But then I should be jealous of the wind and ashamed of myself for asking. The evil eye has separated us, dearest heart. Fate has cast her evil spell and knocked the cup from my hand. The wine is gone and I'm dying of thirst. And now fate mocks me as I lie dying. Yes, I'm one of those who are cursed by the eye, by fate, by whatever you choose to call it. Who would not be afraid of such an enemy? People try to protect themselves from the evil eye by wearing blue amulets. Even the sun, terrified of the darkness, wears a sky blue veil to ward off evil. I did not wear an amulet, and so I lost everything. Yes, everything. I lost everything because I lost you. For you are my everything. If this is not the work of fate, then whose work is it? And if it is the work of fate, then I have every right to be afraid and to be mad. Isn't this beautiful? Okay. This part of what guys has said has been kind of written into a poetry, and there's one line which I have always found very beautiful, in which I'm loosely translating, where he says, "My annihilator or my nemesis and my messiah is one and the same." Oh my God, that's such a beautiful line. So, Majnu let out a deep groan, as though ready to faint, and then Laila saw him. For a second that seemed like an eternity, their eyes met, and in the mirror of each other's gaze, they read the whole story of their fear, of their longing, their pain, and their love. Tears filled their eyes as they spoke to each other with mute eloquence, exchanging sighs on the breeze that acted as messenger between them. Layla was the radiance of dawn itself. Majnu was a candle, slowly consuming itself with desire before her. Layla, in her splendor, was a rose garden. Majnu was a beacon of longing. Layla scattered the seeds of love. Majnu watered them with his tears. Layla was a spirit beauty from another world. Majnu was the blazing torch that lit her way from the world to the world of men. Layla was a jasmine blossom in spring. Majnu was an autumn plain where no jasmines grow. Layla could bewitch the world with one glance. Majnu was a slave, an entranced dervish whirling before her. Layla had the cup that held the wine of love. Majnu stood intoxicated by its musky scent. Only this briefest of encounters were the lovers allowed, and then it was over. One more second, even this, the most fleeting of pleasures, might have ended in disaster for both of them. Afraid that he would be apprehended by guards or spies, Majnu took to his heels and fled. So in that tiny moment where they got to see each other, they could speak. The connection between them and between all twins goes beyond ordinary conversations, ordinary need to verbalize. In the presence of each other, you somehow just know what is going on with the other, what they want to say to you, what they are feeling. And the eyes, the connection of the eyes. I'm going to be making an entire episode separately on this whole phenomena of the eyes meeting of the twin flames. I'm going to leave you now with a lot of love and light, because if I start talking, there's so much I want to share with all of you, and I'm really hoping that you are all enjoying my videos, and I thank you so much for your views, comments, likes, shares, subscription. Please continue to share with those you think are going to enjoy these stories, or who are part of the twin flame journey. Just to remind you, it is difficult, but it is about love. It is about recognizing each other. It is about trusting. It's about patience, and above all, it's about a complete surrender to our divine, because they know how much we have waited, how much we yearn for, and how much we love our twin flames. This is Nikita Bhargav, and I'm looking forward to your feedback.